Hey there, I'm Eli Straw, mental performance coach and the founder of SuccessStartsWithin.com. In this fourth and final video in the series on overcoming fear of failure as an athlete, we're going to talk about how failure can be used to elevate your game. Now, if you haven't watched the previous 3 videos in the series, I've linked them in the description below, so you can go ahead and click on those to watch them. Just as training is seen as something that's necessary to your growth as an athlete, failure is equally important. Through accepting failure and not allowing the fear of it to take over your mind, you're going to place yourself in a position to actually use it to your advantage as you grow and improve as an athlete. And so the first way that failure can be used to actually elevate your game is that failure highlights areas that need improvement. In the moment, failure is going to feel very frustrating. It brings along a tremendous amount of anger and sometimes even embarrassment at the fact that you made the mistake. You also might feel judgment from other people, such as your teammates, coaches, or even the fans. And the voice in your head begins to tell you how terrible you are, and this can really ingrain the idea that failure is something to be afraid of. Now, this is one way of looking at failure. However, failure can also be seen as a mere bump in the road on your path to success as an athlete, one that may slow you down in the moment, but ultimately it's going to provide you with some pretty much needed direction. Now, an interesting way of looking at it is that when you fail, an area of your performance is going to be highlighted. If you can understand what that is and not become too emotionally attached to the mistake, it's an incredible opportunity for you to grow. Now, these can be physical skills, which you need to give attention to, but they can also be mental skills that may be getting in the way of your success. Let's say you once again failed to come up clutch in that really crunch time moment during a game. You succeeded other times, but when pressure was felt, you're gonna crumble under the weight of that pressure. Instead of getting down on yourself, you wanna be grateful for the fact that now you know a weakness of yours is performing well under pressure. What you can do with this information is build the mental and physical skills that you need to actually perform well in those moments where you're feeling pressure. And then another way that failure can elevate your game is that failure gives you the freedom to actually take risks. Now, playing it safe is not likely going to give you the type of performance that you're after. When you are afraid to fail, one of the safest options is to play timidly. And as you know, if you've watched the second video in this series, playing timidly is only going to hold you back because you are tiptoeing around your performances, hoping not to fail. However, that type of mindset is going to allow no room for striving for success. If your mind is fixed on performing your best, you can't help but take a few risks along the way. It's just going to be something that you have to do. And this means taking risks in practice with new mechanics, or maybe even trying a new form of training that's going to help you improve. It also involves taking risks during games, opening yourself up to the possibility of failure. Now, risks during a game involve taking an open shot or going for a steal in basketball, swinging at a 3-0 count in baseball, pushing yourself to run harder a little earlier during a race, and there are a lot more examples than that. But taking risks also involves going to tryouts, having scouts come and watch your game because you want to go to the next level, and also maybe even speaking up as a leader to your teammates. All of this is risk, with the actions opening you up to the possibility of success, but also the possibility of failure. It's only through accepting failure that any of these risks are possible. So you want to see failure as a necessary part of taking risks, because without that mindset, you're going to be too afraid to open yourself up to the vulnerability, and you're never going to experience the success that you could if you did take some of those risks. And then the third reason that failure is going to elevate your game is that, to be honest with you, failure is the best teacher. Not only does failure provide insight into the areas of your game that you need to improve, but it also teaches you how to manage your mind and your emotions in a better way. Learning how to control your reactions to situations is a large factor in success. As an athlete, you cannot allow failures to tear down your confidence. Yet, it's really difficult to simulate the same reaction you have to failure without actually experiencing failure. And that's why failure proves to be the best teacher, because it's going to show you in the moment how to respond to these mistakes and handle these frustrations by managing your mind and managing your emotions. Each time you fail, you can use it as an opportunity to practice this self-control and this discipline over yourself. In these moments, focus on generating the type of mindset you want and responding in the way that you want. We think getting angry and upset is the best response to failing. However, if our goal is to succeed moving forward in the game or even in our career, that happens to be the absolute worst reaction possible. Instead, these need to be times where you use the most willpower that you can to gain control of your mindset so that you can actually use each of the failures to learn and improve in the moment and then move on instead of allowing it to tear down your confidence and distract you moving forward. Now, like I said, if you haven't watched the previous 3 videos in this series on overcoming the fear of failure, go ahead and click those. I've linked them in the description below. Also, if you're interested in a more in-depth and personalized approach to overcoming the fear of failure or any other mental game challenge, then I also offer one-on-one mental performance coaching. The link to learn more about one-on-one coaching is in the description below.